Hey everybody, Dane and Leslie back for another Disney dining review.
Today we are talking all about Palo, which is on the Disney cruise ships.
So this is a little bit different of a review. We have just recently returned from our 7-night Alaska cruise on the Disney Wonder, and we got the opportunity to experience Palo for the first time for both dinner and for brunch. And so we're gonna cut to some of the video from dinner and brunch, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna focus on our thoughts. We had heard extremely good reviews of Palo. We've been on the Wonder before, and so we knew that we liked the food in the main dining rooms. We'd actually heard some negative reviews recently from like last year's Alaska sailing cruise, but the main dining room food was actually really good. So we were interested to see how Palo stacked up, because an Alaskan cruise, especially a Disney Alaskan cruise, is quite expensive, and Palo is an above and beyond expense for that.
Yes, so enjoy the video and we will come back and give you our thoughts. So we are at Palo. We ordered a bottle of wine and we ordered our dishes. So you can do like kind of the prefix course where it's just kind of the set price and you pick one from each course, or you can just order what you want. So we decided to order what we wanted. I got the caprese and Dan got calamari for the starters, and then we both got a pasta dish and then a main course. And so that's kind of where we've started, and then we'll go from there. All right, so we just were given an amuse-bouche, which I believe he said it was a gnocchi with a like a mushroom sauce. That's very good. I got my caprese salad. They brought it out and they added balsamic and some salt to it as well. Just a compilation of all those flavors. It's so good. It's so fresh and just delicious.
All right, so I got the calamari, which is fried tempura style with one large shrimp. I really like the breading, the fried breading. The tempura finish though is really good.
We have a pappardelle, which has lobster and like a salmon roe on top, and then of course the noodles, and it looks just absolutely incredible. The flavors are just out of this world. Really good.
We got the agnolotti, which is kind of like a ravioli with butternut squash, kind of reminiscent of like a pumpkin soup, like very hearty Thanksgiving-y flavors. Tasty, very good.
My main course has arrived. It is the sea scallops, which look beautifully cooked. Very good. The risotto is perfectly cooked. Scallops are perfectly cooked. A+ all around.
I got the rack of lamb. So I asked them to cook it medium rare, which it appears that they did. Super tender, very flavorful. This is good lamb.
We make some room here. Then we pour the sauce carefully.
So we've got a chocolate souffle, which takes like 25 minutes to cook, so... Oh yeah, that's good.
It's like a chocolate pudding melted goodness.
If you're looking to plan your next magical vacation, we would love to help you out. Please reach out to us over at Fantastical Vacations. We plan Disney destinations, Universal Cruise Lines, and all-inclusive resorts.
All right, we have made it into Palo, and already there is so much food, and we haven't even got anything we've ordered yet. So they brought a selection of breads to the table.
There's like a little, this is all savory, so there's lots of like onion. That looks like there's blue cheese on it. And then look at this. Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
That is wild.
Ranger pan?
Something amazing.
You also get a complimentary glass of Prosecco or a mimosa. I'm gonna try the savory little roll thing here with rosemary and looks like sun-dried tomatoes. It's delightful. As far as breads go, the savory one, the winner for me is the blue cheese. It's fantastic. And then that frangipan, that almond frangipan croissant was wonderful.
And the blueberry muffin.
And the blueberry muffin, fresh, warm, tons of powdered sugar on that thing. It was super good.
I got the strawberry waffle. It's like a giant Mickey waffle.
I got the salmon eggs Benedict, which looks fantastic. Really, really good. I like anything salmon, and I love eggs Benedict. Perfect. I also got the seafood antipasti selection. It's got crab and mussels and salmon and tuna, like a spicy tuna. I know that's gonna be fabulous, so I'm diving in.
My flatbread just came out. It is quite large. It is the margarita, but look at how amazing it looks. Gosh. Wow. That's really good.
All right, I get the spicy Italian flatbread. Looks fantastic. So Palo is obviously an Italian restaurant. These flatbreads are very well done. That is some of the best pizza I've had in a while. And the sausage is really, really nice. Not too spicy, really good flavor. Yeah, it's great. Do not sleep on the flatbread. If you come to Palo, get it. That's all I can say. Fantastic. The cheese is great. The sausage, get the spicy sausage because it's fantastic. It is a little bit spicy and it's got the best flavor, but then the sauce and the crust, I mean, it's the best pizza I've had in a very long time. It's on a cruise ship.
Dazzling chicken parmesan. That is what our server said. The chicken is very well prepared. It's like moist. It has great flavor. But I think I prefer the pizza.
Yeah, that pizza was spectacular. Okay, I got the lasagna. I'm gonna try to cut this with my left hand because the right hand is holding this camera. Very good. I would like a little bit more spice in there. I didn't get a full bite, but I feel like maybe a little bit more spice in the sausage, but other than that, like, it's very, very well prepared. I'm with you though, I think I prefer, the flatbreads were so good. Like, the flatbreads were like out of this world, really good pizza. This is just very good Italian food. Right, dessert arrived. Oh, and coffee.
How pretty this is.
So we got the panna cotta. You could absolutely get your own, but we're so stuffed we just decided to split one. It comes with like a popping pearls on the little boba balls on top.
And some pistachio crumbles.
Pistachio crumbles.
That is so good. I love that we got it because it is, it's super light and refreshing, so it's not gonna be like just heavy. But the pearls, like, those are yummy. The pistachio adds kind of an earthy nuttiness to it that's just really delicious. But it's really well done.
Well, that's a delightful little explosion of flavor.
Right?
The popping pearls like really do explode in your mouth. Very refreshing. That's nice. Very light to the end of a very filling but wonderful brunch.
All right, we are back and we are going to dig into this.
But first, if you are looking to plan your next magical vacation, please reach out to us over at Fantastical Vacations. We would love to help. We plan Disney destinations, Universal cruise lines, and all-inclusive resorts.
So let's talk about Palo, and this is weird in a couple of senses. So one, you've paid a ton of money to come on board a Disney cruise ship where there's as much food as you could possibly ever eat. If you leave a Disney cruise ship hungry, you've done it wrong.
That's true.
So you do not need to pay extra money for an adult only. It's 18 years of age and older at Palo. It's also very hard to get a reservation in Palo. It's so there is a Palo on all their ships, and then there are on some ships there is a second extra cost restaurant that is also adults only, but the Disney Wonder only had Palo.
For dinner, we'll address that first. You could do a couple of different options. You could do the prefix meal, which had basically 4 courses, and it gave you a couple of options in each of those courses that you could choose from, one or the other. And then that was a flat rate of $45. Or you could do a la carte, and then you could just buy whatever you wanted instead of doing the $45, which is what we chose to do because we'd never been and we wanted to experience everything, and it ended up costing quite a bit.
Brunch is a little bit different. It is a flat rate prefix menu. It's $45 per person, but it's not a choice between like 4 courses, a couple of things on each course. It is a choice of the whole menu. And so our waiter described it as like driving in India. It's just, you just go. It's a free for all. You just order whatever you want and bring. So of course we had to order just about everything.
Yeah.
We got like one of every section. The other reason that it was kind of strange is because we had the same waiter for both meals, and we've never had that before in any restaurant that we've dined at with Disney. So it just happened to be that we had the same waiter for dinner as we did for brunch several days later. So it was nice because when we compare the 2 different seatings, we can kind of compare. It was the same service. Like, he was fabulous on both. So
yeah, and I don't know if they do that intentionally or if it was just like a chance encounter type thing, that we just happened to be lined up with the same person.
I think they do it intentionally. So we had our vow renewal on the second day, the first full sea day of the cruise. And part of that was getting a voucher to go to Palo for dinner. And so we used that evening. And the manager like greeted us by name. He knew that we had our vow renewal inside Palo that afternoon. And so when we came back for brunch several days later on the last sea day, he knew us again. He was like, hey, congratulations again. And so I think he set us with the same server.
Yeah, I think he probably did. The food at dinner was incredible. Now, I think if I were to do it again, I would probably maybe just have one of us do the prefix, and then if the other one wanted something different, then they could order off the a la carte, and then we could just kind of like take nibbles of both. But just because it did end up being pretty expensive on top of an already expensive sailing.
So let's just start from the top. We'll do our ambiance and theming. So a lot of these are going, except maybe food, they're going to be the same for brunch and dinner because, again, same restaurant.
Yeah.
So ambiance and theming, what do you think?
All right, so this is amazing. I mean, on the Disney Wonder, it's in the deck 10 aft part of the ship. It's got complete windows all around. It's got an open kitchen, which if you guys have watched us, you know how much I love an open kitchen. And it's just the way they've set the tables, even though they can put a fair amount of people in there, you don't feel like you're right on top of each other. You still can have just a very nice, romantic, quiet meal together and really enjoy the environment.
Yeah, and it's very quiet in there. There's a lot of soft goods, carpet, everything that absorbs sound. So even with the open kitchen, it's very, very calm and peaceful and wonderful. I don't know how you get much better ambiance than that. Like seeing, it's like 270 degrees of just window, just like beautiful Alaska or wherever you're cruising to. The theming is really on point as well. So it's themed to Italy, I guess. So it's themed to Italy. It's all Italian food. It is, even the name Palo means pole. And so they are very, they like their history and their representation and the meanings behind everything. And so from the masks when you walk in to like there's one main pole in the center that our waiter pointed out, and the pole is like a nod to like tying up the gondolas in Italy. And so it is really, really well done. The ship was built in Italy. I think that's why it was themed to Italy.
Yeah.
So theming was fantastic as well.
So, I mean, we give it a 5. It was wonderful.
Suck service real quick. Our waiter was phenomenal.
So great.
He gave tons of recommendations. He knew everything inside and out. He worked with us. He was like, just so like if he'd come and you weren't quite ready to order, or if you needed a little bit more time, he's like, yeah, no problem. Take your time. So they weren't like rushing. They were very accommodating, like anything we wanted, he was like done instantly. I asked.
You asked for red pepper flakes at one point during one of the meals, and he was like, give me 40 seconds.
Like, okay, take 45, it's fine. The service was spectacular.
Yeah, he was actually from India, and so that's why the joke about it was like driving in India was even more funny, because probably out of anybody, he probably knows what it's like.
So we gave him a 5.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk drinks. So At our dinner, we chose to order a bottle of wine, so that did add to the cost of our meal because it wasn't included. However, at brunch, it comes with a drink from Mickey, as our waiter put it. And so you get to choose from Prosecco or Mimosa right off the bat, just so each of you get one. And then if you want anything additional, of course, you can order that.
They do have a full bar there. They have very nice, whiskey, scotch, whatever you want. But we did just do the wine and the one mimosa at brunch. So I don't know that we can personally rate this thing, but we did just sit there, and as we were between courses and going between the beautiful Alaskan landscapes and looking this way to the open kitchen, their bar is right there too. So we watched the bartender make a bunch of drinks, Bloody Marys during brunch and all kinds of stuff, and they looked very good.
They
did. I assume it's probably a 5 or close to a 5, but I don't think we'll include that in this rating just because we didn't try anything other than the wine.
I will say, and this goes back to really probably service, but whenever we ordered our bottle of wine, one thing I really liked was that he did not keep the bottle of wine on our table. He actually kept it on a bar kind of nearby. And he was spectacular at topping off our glasses. So our glasses never went below, a third full until, of course, our bottle was out.
It was a sad moment. Let's talk food. Food here is the standout. As great as the regular rotational dining is on Disney cruises, this is leaps and bounds above that. It is so incredible. The food was prepared perfectly. The flavors were just so good. For me, my favorite thing that I had for both meals was the pizza at brunch.
Me too.
It was the best pizza I've had in a very long time.
Oh my gosh.
It was so good. Do not skip out on the pizza if you go. I mean, this is so good.
I got a strawberry waffle, and it was like a giant Mickey waffle, and then they had strawberry preserves that they put on top, or a strawberry topping, and then there's a what I assume is a homemade cream, because if it wasn't, I want to know where to buy it because it was fantastic, and syrup if I wanted it. So I mean, it just. And then I had the chicken parmesan, which I wish I had more room in my stomach by the time that came, because that was incredible.
By the time dessert course came around, we were stuffed. We couldn't eat another bite, and we're like, well, let's just get one dessert to just take one bite of each, just so we can try it. So for brunch, our dessert was just the panna cotta, which is what the waiter recommended. So it was basically just this, it's kind of like a cream, like a cold cream, but it had these popping pearls, boba balls, basically. And I forget what the flavor was. Some sort of
raspberry
fruit,
or strawberry.
Yeah, strawberry, raspberry. Took one bite, and it just, this little flavor explosion in your mouth.
And it had pistachio crumbles on top of it too. So the combination of the pistachio crumbles and the boba balls and the panna cotta was so good. Oh, I just made my mouth water.
It was.
And so I took a couple of bites, and then I was like, I can't, I'm so full. And Dan was like, I'm not leaving any of this left.
I would have licked, it was in a stemless wine glass, but I would have licked it if I could have. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And then the bread at brunch, there were 2 different bread baskets they brought out before we even had one thing that we ordered. One was a sweet bread basket, and one was a savory bread basket. Everything was fantastic, and those breads, I cannot say good. Anyway, we gave it a 5. The food was a 5. I'd give it a 5.5 if we went up that high. It was wonderful.
Yes.
So, would you recommend this?
100%. I think, so we actually, on an upcoming cruise, we have Remy's dinner scheduled, and I think we actually have a Palo dinner scheduled on that one as well.
I think we do.
But I told Dan, as soon as we get on the ship, we are going straight to wherever I need to go to try to sign us up for another brunch, because that really, to me, was the winner out of the 2. I enjoyed the dinner, it was fantastic, and I think that it's definitely worth going. But if I can get on a brunch on every single one of our future sailings, I absolutely will.
Totally agree. I would choose the brunch for a couple of reasons. Number one, it is $45, but you can choose anything on the menu, as many things as you want, and it's all spectacular. And so that sets it a little bit above for me because of just the cost. I think our I mean, we had a bottle of wine in there too, but it was over $200, and that's with our credit from the Vow renewal, which was $100, by the way. But then the other reason I would choose the brunch is that if you're on a shorter sailing, you don't have to take away from one of your rotational dining experiences. So if this was my first time on the Wonder and we were only going for a 3-night, I don't know that I would do a Palo dinner just because I would want to experience the 3 main rotational dining restaurants. But that being said, like, it is 100% worth the cost.
So good.
It is 100% worth, like, if you're on a 4-night or longer, try to get it on one of the nights where you don't miss one of your rotational. And I definitely, I want to keep the both dinners on the Dream. We haven't done Remy, obviously, but I want to keep Palo on the Dream and just see if it's as good as the Disney Wonder.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it would be better. Like, this was phenomenal.
So good. Yeah. So anyway, all that to say, across the board, it's a 5. Definitely highly recommend it. If you are liking these videos, please hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss the next one.
And we will see you on the next video.